Did you know in San Francisco, the highest offer doesn't always win the home? In fact, I've helped sellers choose lower offers that closed faster, had fewer risks, or ended up making the process smoother. Offers are like icebergs. It's what's below the surface that will sink the ship. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtains and explain to you how I work with my sellers to understand and navigate negotiations and make the smartest possible decision, not just the obvious one. Hey, my name is Gjevre and I'm a top agent here in San Francisco. If you're thinking about selling or if you're thinking about buying and selling at the same time, reach out to me. I help sellers win in this extremely tricky market. If you're outside of San Francisco and want to trust an agent in your area, hit me up, the links are below. I'd be happy to connect you. You know, after doing this real estate thing for a while, I've seen one thing that kind of happens over and over. Sellers think the hardest part is getting the offer, but actually the real skill is knowing what to do after you receive that offer and/or multiple offers. Because what looks like a dream offer on paper can fall apart fast. We're dealing with emotions, competitive buyers, unique financing, and tight timelines. My job here is to help you read the fine print, protect the bottom line, and keep the momentum going all the way to close. So let's break it down. The number one mistake I see sellers make is focusing only on price. And hey, I get it. That's kind of the one thing you're thinking about. And we do want to get you as much money as possible. But the best offer is the one that closes smoothly and on your terms and the most amount of money. So when I present offers, we look at the buyer's financing. Is it cash or a loan? If they are financing, how big is their down payment? The timeline, how long is it going to take them to close? And the earnest money deposit. When are they putting this into the bank? And how soon can we officially exhale and know that we are now in contract and have that deposit? We had a seller recently and they had $100,000 over asking offer, but packed with contingencies and a slow timeline. So we ended up going up with the lower one, got them to come up a little bit, and we closed in 15 days, no appraisal, no loan contingencies, and a guarantee that we will close. Well, as close as a guarantee as you can get in this game. In this market, we've got competitive buyers and they're competitive buyer agents, and they can talk a big game. But you know what? Talk is cheap. Pre-approvals matter. So if they are financing, we want to make sure how far they are in the underwriting process. Has the bank already underwritten that buyer? Meaning all they have to do now is underwrite the home. And it helps if they have, if we can contact their lender and we know who they are and have a relationship. It really does help. Not necessary all the time, but it really helps. Or do they just have some like generic pre-qualification letter that they got online? And the same with cash offers, right? Proof of funds isn't just a screenshot from the bank. The best is a letter from the bank. And by the way, there could be more than one cash offer sometimes in San Francisco. So we really want professional statements. This protects you from wasting your time with unqualified buyers. Sometimes you get really lucky and you get 2, 3, 4, maybe 10 offers. I mean, if you're working for me, you're gonna get a lot of offers, but hopefully. But what do? Do you accept the highest one? Do you counter everyone? Do you set a best and final deadline? Each scenario is kind of different, right? So here's the key. You don't want to lose the leverage that you have by playing it wrong. Sometimes we just counter one buyer with specific terms. Probably this is the most common. Sometimes we might leverage multiple offers to push everyone a bit higher. Sometimes it's not just about price. Sometimes we're improving the closing date or shortening contingency windows or getting better terms like a rent back in some cases. Had a listing and I think we got 5 offers. And one of the agents was really aggressive and my sellers did not like it. They did not like the aggressive tactic, and they were higher, and my sellers did not go with their offer. They weren't doing this just out of principle, right? They were doing it because their instincts told them that this was not going to be a smooth transaction. And they were probably right. Okay, let's talk about contingencies. These are sort of the buyer's get out of jail free card. You know, they're in contract, in good faith, by the way, so they shouldn't be trying to get out of jail free, but that's what they sometimes use them for, because buyer's remorse is almost inevitable. I hate to say it, but another video, another day on that one. There's 3 common types of contingency. You've got your big daddy, the inspection contingency. This gives buyer time to find flaws and come back and renegotiate or walk. The appraisal contingency protects buyers if the value comes in low from the bank's appraisal. I find this one to not be as worrisome, but I prefer sellers to not have it either. And then there's the loan contingency. It allows buyers to walk away if the financing falls through. So the fewer contingencies or the shorter the contingency period, that just means that the buyer is more committed. With the market being so hot and all of the information that I provide and many other agents provide up front, buyers tend to waive their contingencies. In a slower market, we might just have to negotiate a tighter timeline, and there might be some contingencies. Either way, it's all about managing the risk for you. Okay, so let's say we've got a great offer, the price is really close, but the terms are off. That's when we'll counter. But we do it strategically because we don't want to overplay our hand. We don't want to lose a good buyer. So we'll tailor each counter. We might shorten the contingencies or ask for a quicker close, adjust the price slightly upwards. We do this while keeping things positive, right? So tone really matters. I'm careful not to make buyers feel like they're being jerked around. It's really important. And I tell sellers if I think they're pushing it too hard. Here's the part that people overlook a lot. When a buyer is in love with your home, they're more likely to write a clean offer. They'll overlook inspection items, and they're going to be flexible on timing. I keep my eyes and ears open for red flags and green lights in how the agent is communicating and how the buyer and agent communicate when they're in the property. How many showings do they go to? Do they write a personal letter? Do they bring family members? All those things help me guide your negotiation. You're not just selling a property, you're managing their emotions. Okay, now there's the low ball offer. Not every offer is good. Sometimes buyers will just kind of throw it out there. When that happens, you can analyze it and we'll work together on this. Are they even serious? Are the terms really clean? That will be a good indicator. Are they trying to bypass competition? So a lot of times there'll be a preemptive offer and they're just trying to bypass the competition, and maybe they do have room to go up. And sometimes it makes sense to engage. Other times it's good to just ask them to come back at the offer date, which we like to set here in San Francisco. But we've always got to use these offers to your advantage, even if it's just for leverage to get another offer from a buyer that's on the fence. Once you're in contract, you're not quite done. Buyers may come back if they have a contingency. Could be that their home didn't appraise. It could be that they had an inspection. Or maybe they didn't even have contingencies, but their financing fell through. We got to get creative to see if we can keep this deal afloat. We need to talk about if it's better for you to go back on the market, talk to the backup offer that we maybe had, or renegotiate the price or fix the terms in a way that they can then get the loan that they wanted. Experience matters so much in this case. I really appreciate you being here. Hit that subscribe button if you found this video helpful, and if you're thinking about selling in San Francisco or just curious about what your home might be worth, reach out. My name is Gjevre, and I'll see you next time.